Hey, this is Morgan from Sevendust, and you're listening to Collision on Voice FM.
Hi, Morgan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome. Well, can I ask first, actually, the new Sevendust album, when exactly was that released, Kill The Flaw?
October.
In October. And you've had 2 singles off of that?
We've only had one that's been released so far.
All right.
Yeah, they released Not Today kind of as like just a little teaser.
Right. I've been doing a little bit of research, and apparently every time you guys go in to record an album, your personal life seems to go through a bit of hell. Was this album better?
Yeah, this one was much better. This might have been the first record in like probably the last 3 out of 4 that I wasn't going through some sort of personal trauma. So it was as easy as it was to do the record. Emotionally, it was a little tougher to dig in lyrically because, you know, there wasn't anything crazy going on in my life.
Can I ask, actually, because I read too that you started out like your father was a guitarist and he taught you to play guitar. So how did you end up playing drums?
Well, he didn't do a very good job with teaching me how to play guitar, so he got me on the drums, and he taught me how to play the stuff that he liked to play, like the Jimi Hendrix stuff and some Zeppelin and stuff like that. So he was the one that, like, initially got me into it. And then I basically, you know, I always liked it, but I went to sports instead. And then later on in life, when I got to be about between 16 and 18, I wanted to get another drum set. And by 18 or 19 was when I had switched back and said, I think I want to play music as my life, you know. Which
isn't too late in life to realize that.
No, it was, you know, I felt like I was somewhat of a late bloomer. I didn't have a bunch of friends that played music, so I had to go and find people. And, you know, I was, like I said, I hung out with guys that were playing sports, and usually the sports guys wanted to beat up the artsy guys. So I had to switch gears and hang out with the guys that, you know, were on the other side of the fence for me growing up.
Well, you did an amazing job of finding other musicians to play with. I mean, Sevendust are a pretty amazing band, and like you guys, it's your 21st year, actually.
Yeah, we've been together as a band for, probably around 21 years, and, you know, we got signed in 96, and our first record came out in 97. So, you know, we spent the better part of half of our lives together, and it's something that I'm very proud of, on not just the band, but just the fact that I picked the right people. You know, I mean, to judge character, something that I wasn't too great at early on in life, and I've not been the best at it, you know, later on. But the one thing I did really good was I picked 4 guys to play with that, you know, that are my brothers, my best friends, and, you know, we love each other dearly. So that was a really, really lucky move that I got such great people.
Yeah, because you've had a few guys that have sort of gone away and come back, but it is the original lineup still, isn't it?
Yeah, Clint was the only one. Clint left for 3 records, and, you know, none of us were in a really good place. You know, we weren't exactly in the best of mental state, and so after a hiatus for a little while, and we had somebody come in to fill in for Clint, and he did the 3 records without Clint, and he was, you know, somebody that was very close to us, and somebody that we still, you know, are very close with, and Clint's very close with as well. But, you know, yeah, once we got the original lineup back together, it was like, oh yeah, you know, this is what we are.
Yeah, and can I ask then, over the 21 years, obviously you've had life happen to you, good and bad, but as far as being part of Sevendust, what's like the most memorable experience you've had?
Oh God, I mean, we've done so many things. You know, Woodstock 99 was something extremely special. We went and played for the troops in Afghanistan and Iraq, and that was something that was incredibly special and humbling. And you know, like I said, we've been able to have a career in music for going on almost 20 years, and that's something that I can't believe. I mean, we thought that we were going to do a record, and then that would be the end of it.
Can I ask then, did you have another plan for your life, like a backup plan that you were going to do when you grew up and got out of the band?
Absolutely not. The eggs were all stacked into one basket. It was going to be this, or then we'd figure it out afterwards, you know?
Yeah, that seems to be the key for bands actually making it, is when they just say that this is it, we give this the go and see what happens.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the only way to know that you're going to be completely dedicated. Anybody that adds anything that's a possible fallback plan, I think that, you know, in this business, there's so many times where it's trying and iffy that if it gets tough, which it does, you know, if you have something to fall back on, I think that's what usually breaks bands down, at least early on.
Yeah. But you have actually started producing too. How long have you been doing that?
I've done that for about 4 or 5 years, you know, but we've done that ourselves as well. You know, we produced our own records. So it was really not that challenging. You know, it's pretty rewarding to go in and work on somebody else's stuff and be able to contribute to somebody else's stuff and actually, you know, be looked at like we want to listen to you, because in our band, you know, we all work in that facet. So it's like if you do something, you got 4 other guys to please, and we're really tough on each other when it comes to that. But yeah, I've done that for a few years. I haven't done any of it lately because this has, you know, absorbed all of my time and probably will continue for a while, but it'll be something that I probably do again.
Yeah. And I mean, being in a band like the size of Sevendust and with the name, you know, so respected and that, is it tough, like, when you go to put out another record that you think you have to live up to what you've done, or are you just going in there with a clean slate and doing what you want?
Yeah, we go in there. I go in there with a clean slate usually. I mean, we have such loyalty behind the band and the people that support the band that, you know, they like to almost support anything that we have anything to do with. So whether we're producing it or whether we're playing on it or, you know, anything like that, they seem to always pay attention to it. But we're pretty comfortable in what we do.
And what would you tell Australian fans, because you are going to be touring this album in Australia in March next year, what would you tell them about this latest album from Sevendust, Kill The Flaw?
Well, I mean, this record was done on our own terms. It was one of the first records that we really didn't have to answer to anyone at all. And I've said this before to other people, but, you know, we've done so many albums that it's almost like, you know, we don't have really much to prove. We can do what we want, and there's plenty of other material out there that we've done, you know, that people have accepted, that we thought, you know what, let's just do a record the way we would want to do it, and we'll just see what happens. And, you know, of course, it ended up being, you know, the highest charting record that we ever did in our career, and we just laughed at it. We were like, that just go figure. You know, we didn't listen to anybody. We didn't have a label breathing down our neck telling us, you know, what we should be listening to and what we should focus on and what the state of the industry was. We just went in and did it our way, and it ended up being the most successful chart position that we ever had.
Yeah, and I have had a listen through it, and it is like there is actually a softer side of Sevendust, but then there's also the heavy side.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of heavy stuff on the record, and we challenged ourselves a little bit, and we did stuff that was a little outside of what we're used to doing and made it a little less comfortable to just go in and knock out a bunch of songs. We challenged ourselves, and it was exciting, you know, frustrating, rewarding, exciting. You know, it had all those involved.
Can I ask what Kill the Flaw means to Sevendust?
I mean, it came through in a lyric, and then we took it, and it was just kind of like cutting the fat, you know, like you have a flaw, you have something that is, whether it's holding you back or holding you down, or just, you know, it could be anything in life, in business, just, you know, anything that seems to be dragging you down, you just get rid of it. That's what I took out of it, was just killing the flaw, killing the problem.
Awesome. Can I ask, actually, because the artwork on the album is pretty amazing, and you have, like you said, done a lot of this in the band. Is someone in the band responsible for the artwork?
No, we outsourced it, and we let them hear the record and let them read the lyrics, and they came up with that on their own. And it's the first album cover that I can remember us doing where it's actually been asked about in interviews. It's unbelievable. People have gotten it tattooed on them. People are, really excited about the album cover, which, we never really paid that much attention to. We kind of just shrugged our shoulders and let, whoever was doing the artwork do it, and we never really questioned it too much. It said, it's an album cover, whatever. And this one, when it came back, we were like, whoa, this is crazy. And everybody seems to really enjoy the artwork, so we're really pleased with it.
Yeah, what is it, an eagle biting a wolf? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I should actually mention your Australian dates. The tour starts on the 13th of March in Perth, and you're in Melbourne on the 18th of March, and then you finish up in Sydney on the 19th. But if there's any sold-out shows, you haven't actually left room to add another show, have you?
If the promoters want to add more, we'll do them in a second.
Awesome, good to know. But just in case it doesn't work out, people should definitely grab their tickets early because it is a very tight tour. You're going to be extremely busy, no time off. Only one day in the whole tour.
Absolutely.
I'll tell people they can find you at facebook.com/Sevendust official or sevendust.com. And you've got the album Kill The Flaw out now, and you are, of course, as we just mentioned, touring that in March. And I did want to mention, actually, it surprises me that, you did pick up the drums a little bit later, and that because you're an amazing drummer. I'm sure you've been told that.
Thank you very much.
Well, I really appreciate you giving me some time to talk to me. It has been amazing to get to finally speak to Sevendust.
Oh, beautiful.
It has been fantastic, and I look forward to seeing you in March next year. Thank you very much.
You got it. Anytime. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.